Namaste, educators. Welcome to today's Explainer. We spend so much time perfecting our lesson plans, getting every detail just right. But to truly reach a student, we've got to understand their mind first. That's exactly what we're unpacking today, as we explore educational psychology and child development, or Vidya Psychology Mariyu Balya Abhivritti.
Look, we've all been there, right? You're up at the front of the class, delivering this beautifully planned lesson. But in the back row, one kid is completely distracted, another's terribly shy, and maybe another one is acting out with aggression. Our traditional instinct is usually just to correct the behavior right then and there. But if we really want to move past that outdated one-size-fits-all teaching, we need genuine insight. We have to ask ourselves, why is that behavior happening in the first place?
Okay, let's dive right into this. What exactly is psychology or psychology? Simply put, it's the scientific study of human behavior and mental processes. It's a science that looks at the actions we can see, but also the hidden mental machinery. Things like thinking, learning, emotions, and motivation. For a teacher, having a grasp on this is honestly the ultimate form of practical empathy. So, here's our game plan for today. We'll cover 4 key areas: psychology in the classroom, child development, individual differences, and finally, motivation and positive discipline.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Psychology in the Classroom. Upadhyayulaku Psychology Pramukhyata.
So why does this science actually matter for our day-to-day transactions with students? Well, 4 major things happen when we apply it. First, we start to actually grasp why students behave the way they do. Second, we recognize their unique learning styles. Third, we can shift toward positive discipline. And fourth, it helps us plan lessons that genuinely match a student's age and ability. It literally gets us away from that ineffective one-size-fits-all standard.
Moving right along to Section 2, Child and Adolescent Development, Balya Meryukomarya Abhivritti.
And this brilliantly illustrates the concept of holistic development. Think of it like a puzzle with 4 essential pieces. First is physical development, or Sharirika Abhivuddhi. This is growth in height, weight, strength, and brain capacity. Second is cognitive development, Medho Abhivuddhi, the growth in thinking, memory, language, and problem solving. Third is emotional development, Bhavodviga Abhivuddhi, learning to manage complex feelings like anger, fear, and happiness. And finally, social development, Samachika Abhivuddhi, how kids form relationships with parents, peers, teachers, and society at large. Remember, cognitive and emotional growth are absolutely just as vital as physical growth.
Okay, Section 3, Individual Differences and Learning. Vyaktigata Bhedalu Mariyu Abhyasana.
Now, even though kids grow in universally similar ways, it is a fact that not all students learn at the same speed. On one hand, we have slow learners, or Swalpa Purogati Vidyarthilu, who might just need a little more time or repetition. On the other hand, we have fast learners, Vegavantilu, who grasp concepts super quickly and need continuous new challenges. We absolutely have to design our classrooms to accommodate both of these natural paces. But hey, it's not just about speed, is it? Every single kid has a dominant learning style. When you look out at those desks, you don't just have one type of learner. You have a wonderfully complex, blended mix of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learners.
Let's break those down really quickly. First up, visual learners. They learn by seeing, drishya. They need diagrams, charts, and written instructions. Then we have auditory learners. They learn by hearing, shravana. For them, group discussions or reading out loud works absolute wonders. And finally, kinesthetic learners. These students learn by doing, with hands-on practice, shadarika. If you force a kinesthetic learner to sit totally still and just listen to a lecture, man, we are completely failing to teach them how their brain is wired.
So here is the absolute game changer, the crucial takeaway. As a modern educator, you must adjust your methods to suit different learners. Vividharakala vidyarthulaku anugunanga paddhatilanu sardubatu cheyali. It's our job to adapt our teaching style to them, not the other way around.
Let's wrap things up with Section 4, Motivation and Discipline, Prerna Muryu Anushasana.
So how do we actually manage a complex classroom like this? Well, it starts with motivation, prerna. This is anything that pushes a student to learn, whether it's curiosity, chasing good marks, or just wanting appreciation. To actively motivate, try these steps. First, use praise, prashamsa. Second, set incredibly clear goals, spashtalakshalo. And third, create success experiences, vijay anubhavam. Getting those small wins early on literally builds the confidence they need to tackle harder problems later. But let's be real, Things do go wrong sometimes, and that requires discipline, anushasana. Historically, discipline just meant punishment and fear, but we know now that authoritarian approaches just don't work for long-term change. True discipline is not only punishment, sikshamatra kavu. It's about establishing clear class rules, reliable routines, clear expectations, and giving constant positive feedback, sanukula abhiprayam. We want to guide the behavior, not just punish the misstep.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly powerful thought. Aim should be self-discipline, not fear discipline. Laksham swa-anushasana bhayam karu. When a student behaves because they actually understand the rules and feel valued, they develop a self-discipline that lasts a lifetime. So tomorrow, when you walk into your classroom, ask yourself, are you demanding obedience through fear, or are you using psychology to inspire true self-discipline?